We are live. You guys, welcome to the first episode of Mouthpiece Included. We are live. This is a live interactive chat. And we got Silverbacks in the building. So what's going to happen is these Silverbacks are going to discuss politically charged topics such as to kneel or not to kneel. What would you do? Got family depending on you. You're in the NFL and that's your main trade. We all know the half-life on an NFL career is like 2 years if you're lucky. What do you do? So these are, that's what we're looking to unpack here today. Don't know why I'm sharing this. And so today we got a series of Silverbacks that's going to be in the building. They have varying levels of expertise, and they all have a political opinion because they're all from Chicago. So there is that. They may not be living in Chicago anymore. That's what we are. So stand by as we get everything going. In the meantime, please like, share, subscribe. Please share the link. Like, share, and subscribe, please. Is this me sharing? Hold on 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Stand by. Times I gotta hit stop share. All right, there we go. All right, ready. All right, so we're gonna get them in here. We got first Silverback we're gonna get in the building is T. Washington. This guy is a coach, Jackie Robinson West. And then we got Silverback Tory Wordsmith. He laced him up with cats like Donald Whiteside and Thor, Pinged Mator, whatever. They had all kind of names at Leo. Shit. Yeah, I'm like, who are these guys? And we got another Leo standout, Cortez, the Great Scott. And then we have our other resident Puerto Rican, Southside Chicago, to go along with Cortez and Diesel, DJ E. Prado in the building. And one reason I invited these gentlemen is because we talk sports and we talk politics. You know, that's what we do. We talk sports and we talk politics. So so if you guys want to start, if you want to start, just give a little brief introduction as we get the show rolling here. Appreciate you being here, by the way.
Don't everybody speak at one time.
We're going in order out there. You just introduced us, and
What's going on? This is T. Wash, Chicago South Side, pride of Jackie Robinson West. Glad to be on the show. Hope we can have a great, entertaining time tonight.
Facts.
Tory Wordsmith here. You may know me from the Self-Love Show. It's going to be a great conversation.
What up? What up? This is Cortez Scott from the Inglewood area, born and raised. I'm currently out here in the nation's capital, DC, and looking forward to chopping it up.
Inglewood. Hey, was that everybody? We had E Prado already did his thing.
I don't need no introduction. Let's go.
Hey, all right, but I gotta take care of some business real quick, y'all. This is I'm learning the tech side of it, so I ask you guys to bear with us.
Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1970.
Nobody can hear.
Made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Hey, I don't think we're live. Are we live?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
We live.
I don't see it on my station. What is going on?
It's live. It's live.
TNT, what's going on, my brother? God is
It's
greatest. The point of life is to make life better for your brother and your sister, like the way parents are pleased when most of their offspring love and support. That's exactly right, my brother. That's exactly right. This ain't that network rocking out with us. I missed you, man. I don't know where you've been at. We've been holding it down, having some good shows here. Where you been at? I'm gonna hold you accountable. You got to be in the building when we launch, but you're here tonight. So thank you for rocking out with us on tonight. Hey, listen. Somebody needs to hear. Faith come by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. It don't always.
Hey, y'all like, share, subscribe.
With a preacher and a clergy caller on screaming at you. Sometimes it's just general conversation that God drops nuggets that you'll be able to pick up on. And so I need us all to rock out. That's right. Come on, my brother, always looking out for me. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And matter of fact, hey fellas, y'all go check out TATN.
Yeah, y'all hit that thumbs up.
Network, dope brother, creating dope content. Go follow him. Go subscribe to their channel. To his channel. Hey, bro, go look up Off the Cuff. That's the name of these brothers. Go subscribe to their channel.
All right, guys, this is some pre-business we should have taken care of at the start of the show, so just bear with us out there. Please like, share, subscribe, like, share, and subscribe. Let's get them in here. Big show. TATN wondered, what would happen if you took multiple silverbacks, put them in the same conference, and had them discuss sports and politics from an urban point of view? Mouthpiece included. Guard your grill. Knuckle up.
We ain't stalling. Pass it to me. You know I got it.
And your San Francisco quarterback, I'm sure nobody ever heard of it. I'm just reporting the news. There was an article today. I love to report the news, and then they said I made a mistake, right? I said, no, the people reporting the news made a mistake if it's wrong.
Tramp.
But there was an article today.
Tramp,
reported
what you call me?
that NFL owners
Tramp
don't want to pick them up because they don't want to get a nasty tweet from Donald Trump. Do you believe that? Stand up for your country, baby.
But some fans still wanted to take a selfie with him and get his autograph.
I would not have done what he was doing.
You need to voice your opinion as you can here in America, but not with your uniform. I don't believe that he should have done that in the uniform because he represents my 49ers.
Talk about Donkey of the Day, and you said that's one of the times you gave it to me. That's fair. But I don't hear you saying a single word just now that I disagreed with. Okay. So what's the problem? Well, I mean, where did the problem lie in terms of what I had to say about
He's exercising his constitutional right to make a statement. I think there's a long history of sports figures doing so. I think there are a lot of ways you can do it. As a general matter, when it comes to the flag and the national anthem and the meaning that holds for our men and women in uniform and those who fought for us, that is a tough thing for them to get past.
Let me start by saying I appreciate y'all coming out. That means a lot to me. Our biggest thing with everything today was making sure we had transparency of what went on. We weren't getting that elsewhere, so we came out here. It's important that y'all are here. Y'all been attacked for the last 3 years. Y'all continue to be attacked. We appreciate what y'all do. We appreciate you being here today. We appreciate the work you do for the people and telling the truth. That's what we want.
ESPN.
TATN. 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 Some Frigids over there.
Frigids.
All right, man. So that's where we at. For you cats who didn't get the overview, hold on a second here. For you cats who didn't get the overview, we're going to we're going to talk about pre-Neil, Colin Kaepernick. Who was Colin Kaepernick to you before the Neil? We're also going to go over when were you first introduced to Colin Kaepernick, whether or not it was when he spanked the Bears in that playoff game, or did you know him when he was at Nevada? We're also going to delve into the history of athletes who, protest, athletes who move like this. That's something else we're going to, dive into as well. We're actually going to address that first. And the history of Anthem Protest, meaning these Anthem protests, because it's come to my understanding that Cap wasn't the first one in recent history to start protesting during the anthem. He was just black. And then the pre-George Floyd, your opinion on to kneel or not to kneel. We want to know how that was affected pre-George Floyd and post-George Floyd. That's what we're going to go over with you guys today. And we're going to get the opinions of these Silverbacks. Also, the opinion of the commentary in the chat. That's going to be huge. Our phone lines are open, 424-900-6945. That's 424-900-6945. That number's troll free.
Absolutely troll free.
Absolutely. Try it if you want to. And so before we jump into it, this is a 1 hour show, so we're going to jump right into it. But we want to go over some announcements. We got Big Nick, South Florida. He's going to step back on the Self-Love Show here at TATN on Tuesday to finish some unfinished business. And then we got Kobe Robinson. He's going to talk to us about some stuff, some financial stuff and some other stuff, post-financing. We're just going to pick his brain on Wednesday. That's Kobe Robinson. Next week, on this show, Mouthpiece included. On next week, we're going to cover who would you rather have take your daughter to prom? Who would you rather have take your lovely daughter to prom? Whether it's going to be Big Ben Roethlisberger or Deshaun Johnson. So that's what we're doing next week. So, guys, Big Ben Roethlisberger. So we're gonna run this video, and as you guys sit to the side, feel free to comment. This is the history of protesting during the anthem. Y'all know these brothers, and we're gonna chop it up. And feel free to chime in whenever you see something you want to chime.
Then to see this video, let's get it.
Man, you remember my roof, boy? It was business.
Yeah.
And then they hit and then they hit the switch on him. Man, they hit that switch. He couldn't score another basket. I think he pissed Allah off because he started acquiescing.
What was his real name? What's his
Chris Jackson.
Chris Jackson at LSU. Yeah.
He had that tick, boy.
Man,
that tick. Had that tick and come out and light you up. See, old girl was already looking at him.
We're not saying anything.
Y'all not seeing any of this?
No.
You're not sharing. We just see us.
You stingy. Stop being stingy.
I'm enjoying the hell out of this damn thing.
That's how I be sometimes. You be like, it's no audio. I be like, oh.
Hey, Cobb's on that.
Hey, y'all gonna need some of this. I'm pissed because I didn't go past the damn liquor store, man. Like, damn. Right around the corner.
Abdul Rauf.
All right. Can y'all see it now?
Yep.
Okay. Ask College.
Let's take it. We got to take it back.
Not going to that gymnasium and pretend like everything was okay. I could not in good conscience. I could not play that game. I could not go to the city of St. Louis.
Oh, snap. Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Saw that.
All right, we're going to go back in.
Fix that.
All right.
Refresh
All right.
it.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, you say refresh?
Yeah, it should come right back up.
Okay, here it is. Yeah, I got what you're saying. All right, there we go. But now I got to share it.
Yeah.
Like, share.
And full screen once you get in there.
All right.
It ain't working, bro.
There it is.
Lee Smith, John Carlos.
See, I'm pressing full screen. It's just sticking there.
Abdul Rauf. Flash. Mama called him Chris Jackson. I'm going to call him Chris Jackson.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that.
Nah.
Islam is the only way. And my thing is criticize those for standing.
It's reacting very, very slow.
Yeah.
Did Craig Hodges did he pray on the sideline too?
No.
Craig wore his Muslim jacket to the White House.
Yeah.
Okay.
They told him not to wear his Nation of Islam, Fruit of Islam jacket in there. Like why not? Shit.
And he was done after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was done when he pressed the president. That's when he was done. He started talking to the president about issues. Gave him a letter.
He sure did.
That's when he was done.
He sure did.
Yeah, he won a 3-point contest with no team. Then he participated in that 3-point contest.
Yeah,
and he wasn't
with a blank jersey.
With a blank jersey, we had the NBA joint on.
Wow.
Hey, look what she did. Hands up, don't shoot, boy. She in a pink area too. It's ballsy.
Not going to that gymnasium and pretend like everything was okay. I could not in good conscience. I could not play that game. I could not go to the city of St. Louis and not acknowledge the sacrifice that the protesters of St. Louis were making.
I'll continue to sit. I'm going to continue to stand with the people that are being oppressed. To me, this is something that has to change. And when there's
what are the chances of him being a
I
spook?
feel like that flag represents what it's supposed to represent. And this country is representing people the way that it's
Give me a
supposed to.
percentage.
I'll stand.
Yeah.
3%? I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
seems like
I'd put it up to 30, 35%.
19.
Great cover.
To say, get that son of a off the field right now. Out. He's fired. He's fired.
Bam, you're fired.
I tell y'all, all spooks ain't equally yoked.
Oh hell no, that's fact. And
Yeah.
the one you least suspect would be the best spook. So I get that, but
I hear you.
It's very possible, and we don't. He was adopted.
Mm-hmm. He's got a nice little spook story.
Yeah, came up through some white people,
And he paid for a white lady's season tickets after her husband died when he was in college, and the college had to see if they could do that.
They can see.
Yeah, when he was in Nevada, the lady's husband died, season ticket, she couldn't afford it no more. Yeah, so his experience was much different than ours. Could you imagine yourself out there playing for U of I and you're asking the school if you could pay for some fans
season tickets?
NCAA said you can
and be able to afford it.
Right, that's the main thing.
As a student,
where'd scratch come from as a student?
Hey, but let's go into the history of this though. So we got the history of athletes and protests, and so one thing I wanted to throw at y'all, and anybody can start, is how do you feel specifically about using these platforms, whether it be the Olympics, a football game, basketball game, a platform of recreation for such a serious type of protest?
Well, I'll jump in.
What else you gonna use?
I'll jump in. Like, that's the platform that they have, and it could spread the farthest and the widest. So it just seemed like that's appropriate to me. Like, if it's nothing within the system that says you can't do that, why not?
All right, anybody?
I mean, it's where the money is. So if the money's attached to whatever they're doing in that particular field, sports anyway, then that's what you put that platform on there, and then like it's kind of getting to the day, you press the people who endorse it. And the people who endorse it, who put the money behind it, that's how you get stuff done. You put pressure on them, because they ain't gonna change anything if you just putting pressure on them, because they paying you. So they'll just get anybody else to do it next. But when you put pressure on the people who endorse, it changes everything. You seeing that now in Georgia with what they're doing down there with those laws. They put pressure on the corporations put pressure on them. You can get something done. And pretty much what else you gonna do? That those are the best avenues to try to get stuff done at this point, because it's really goes all the way back to money. And that's really the only thing you can do is put that pressure on them with the people who pay to watch, who pay to play, all of that stuff. That's how you got to do it.
Look, it's interesting. You got that whole what was it? Shut up and dribble. Just shut up and dribble thing that jumped off as a result of this. You had in our society, this sports is something that's held in big regards. We really they have a big platform, athletes, and with that, I think that they definitely can hit a lot of people because that platform is so large. and we all have platforms in our own way, and you take a risk too. It's a hell of a risk because the people who are really funding and paying your salary is the ones that really don't want you to come out and make these statements. So
same one.
Yeah, so I think it's it's a hell of a risk. If you stand, you believe in what you all about and what it's all about, and you have your passion towards such a topic, I think you should speak on it, regardless of the risk.
So before you guys chime in, and Cortez, thanks for that. The question going around the table right now is, how do we feel about using a platform? Because I know a lot of the argument, a lot of the pushback to Brother Guy when he stood out there was, we come to football games to get away from, this kind of stuff. So we're just asking the brothers right now, and they're chiming in on how they feel about using these platforms, to talk about, raising up our people. Go ahead, Tez. I don't know if you was finishing up.
Sports, man, is an extension of our society. So it's hard to, sit here and say that, you go to a sport event and you don't want to hear people's politics and just like the one who was it, Charles Barkley, the one who said, I'm not here to be your role model, or he stood on those principles. But it's actually it's something that you are being someone's role model, and it's just comes with the territory, I think. But people have different views. I see it differently, but I'm open to what others feel about it.
Well, I mean, there's a history of the athlete, especially the Black athlete, using this platform to get things done. As you see, the Don Carlos, and you had the association of major stars back in the 60s, like Muhammad Ali and Jim Brown and Kareem. Yeah, and then the athletes of this ilk using this platform to get things done on.
Don't forget OJ. Don't forget OJ Simpson. OJ Simpson.
Yes, he helped car rental companies around the world excel.
He hurdled that bag. That commercial. He hurdled that bag.
Hey, he wore that suit and killed that airplane. Go ahead, bro.
but there's a history of this. So. Not many athletes have done anything against the shield of the NFL. So, and you saw the pushback, the collusion by the owners to keep this player from competing again once he made his stance for society, our society.
Oh yeah, they
go ahead. No, go ahead. Bro.
They damn near got rid of that dude. I mean, he just for standing up. They pretty much
did get rid of him.
Yeah, they did.
His career was over. Right. He's not going to play again.
He's not going to play.
They'll pay him whatever this play.
Man was at the Super Bowl. He was at the. I mean, he took a team as a quarterback to the Super Bowl, and he just falls off talent wise.
Well, I'm glad y'all going into that. Let's talk pre-Neil Kaepernick. You were talking about he took a team to the Super Bowl, but let's talk about before all of that. We all watching football. I think I remember him coming out there and spanking the Bears. Pissed me off. It was bittersweet. I'm like, damn.
Butt raped them.
Yes. Can
you say that?
Nobody had no film
you
on
can say
them.
it. You can say but, and then but I don't know. However, assaulted them.
Yeah.
Who was our quarterback? Jay Cutler.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Hey.
Or Sexy Rex.
There was no tape on that dude, and he just did whatever. It looked like Tecmo Bowl.
Man,
it looked like you knew exactly what. Yeah. It was nothing you could do. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It looked like Tecmo Bowl. It was crazy because there was no film on him, and man, he just did everything right. We was like, their quarterback's out, and now no.
He's running left.
Right. We celebrated when a quarterback got hurt, and boy, we were better off with the other dude.
Yeah, we were. We'd have been way better off with the
He's
other
running
dude.
right. He's running left. I mean, who's going to catch him?
Man.
And he was throwing lasers. I'm like, why was this guy on the bench in the first place? And I was like, white privilege. That's why.
White privilege.
Man. Yeah. Yeah. He got drafted second. I didn't know too much about him out of Nevada. Did anybody know about him when he was in college?
He was just another one of those, I mean, out of college, he wasn't nothing spectacular. He wasn't high on the draft boards. He was another, what they would actually, how they classify most black quarterbacks. He's mobile, got a strong arm,
good backup.
But that's it. He's not, he can't read
quality
defenses.
Backup.
He can't, he can't make accurate throws. That's
change the pace quarterback.
What pick was he?
He was second round. I don't know what pick, but he was second round.
Second round. Okay.
And so what he was saying is that even at Nevada, bro, he had to go through, my research showed that even at Nevada, he was going through that thing. So, he's a mulatto. I don't know if we can say mulatto, but he's a half breed. He's half pink and half foundational black. And so his whole life, he grew up around, in an alt-white area. And so, the pink kids would be telling him, there's no way those are your parents and stuff like that. And then so he said even in high school and in college, he had to always prove and go the extra mile because he was a black quarterback. He wasn't given, so somebody had to get hurt at Nevada. He came in and shined the same way he did against the Bears. And that's the way he said, he said that's always been in his head.
Yeah.
He was a two-sport athlete, though.
Nevada
too.
Nevada was the only college that gave him a scholarship
As
to
a
play
quarterback.
quarterback.
Correct.
Nobody else would allow him to play quarterback. They wanted him, but they didn't want him for quarterback.
But sat him on the bench.
He was playing baseball too, though.
Yeah.
He was a two-sport.
He was KC's quarterback before KC quarterback, man.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Or Kyler Murray. He was like Kyler Murray.
Yeah. So that was the pre. Anybody else got anything to say about any thoughts on pre Neil Colin Kaepernick?
And he benefited from Jim Harbaugh, his offense. That type of offense really
and the
really
defense that
helped
man
him.
the whole system. Yes.
The whole
really
discipline.
helped him.
Yes.
Because when he left, that's when he had his the next dude, whoever that new coach was for the 49ers, that's when his whole thing went down.
The offensive line coach, I think it was.
And he went vegan and lost a whole lot of weight.
Well, I think that was like after injury though. He got like hurt or something anyway.
Yeah.
But when he got that new head coach and that system changed, he was never listen who he lost a starting job to. Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, but that had to be supremacy. That had to be white supremacy.
It normally is.
It was.
I happened to be in New Orleans at a Super Bowl that they were playing the Ravens. Yeah. He was close to town. They had a big
when the lights went out.
Yeah, Beyonce. Yeah, they had a 50-foot photo of him on the building of him and one of Ray Lewis. So imagine that. But anyway, so I guess the owners felt betrayed by this quarterback that they put on such a pedestal for him to kneel at an NFL game that they felt that they had to do something about it, especially when Shrek.
It's crazy because he was sitting long before. And there's a long history of quarterbacks sitting during the anthem. Tom Brady, a lot of Tom Brady sitting.
Beast mode.
Yeah.
Beast mode. Yeah, beast mode.
A lot of people. Like, you know what I mean? You know, and they just really made a big deal
out of nothing. Out of nothing. It was really not that big of a deal. And they
asked
used all
him,
of that.
That was the thing. They asked him why he sat. And
they used all that racial undertone that they keep quiet with all the time. For the most part, they keep it behind closed doors. And then when something like this happens, then they speak up a little bit. And then look how it came back and bit them. Like a year or two later, everybody who was in on, yeah, we're gonna get him out to leave. You can't play for my team if you do. And then when all this stuff happened with Floyd, they all did a 360.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now we understand.
We are sorry.
It's facts. Because you know, it was crazy because they were the problem.
And it wasn't just the owners. It was other players.
Yeah.
It was other players that they played with. White players saying stuff. All of them.
Yeah. All right, we watch this video. Right
well, we can talk through it, but just give you some context.
And he wasn't alone. San Francisco 49ers teammate Reed kneeled beside him in solidarity. And the controversial protest is spreading. This time it was Seattle Seahawks cornerback Jeremy Lane who refused to stand during the anthem in a game against the Oakland
Is he still in the league?
Who is that?
Jeremy Lane.
I think he is.
I think he is.
He had balls.
Oh, that's smiling.
And you see, you think it's an accident they got the brother to come out there and sing it that day? They just be fucking with our head.
Focus on doing my best and not what's going on around.
There he is, big country boy.
The message is that we have a lot of issues in this country that we need to deal with.
I don't think
Say this, he's got one of the worst voices ever. Like he's just been sucking on lemons his whole life. Kaepernick, man.
Well, have you heard Mahomes' voice?
Yeah, it's in that ballpark too. Like they've been hanging out.
Booed during the game. But some
well, they have something in common that I won't say on here.
Yeah.
Well, they're adopted.
Yeah.
No, Mahomes not adopted.
Because he represents
adopted into a race.
Oh, that's right. Mahomes ain't adopted. His dad is a baseball player.
Yeah, a good baseball player at that.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. I'm sitting there waiting on Tori to stop. All right. Yeah, so I just wanted to do that just to give some
another
context.
intriguing piece too, Mills and Tori. When y'all found out he was a Newt?
I knew it before the kneel. I did know it before.
Okay.
Yeah, I did know it before the kneel.
Yeah, that was another intriguing piece.
Yeah, it was. Well, I want to ask. So let's go into the Anthem Protest because we got about 22 more minutes, so we're gonna shift over to the Anthem Protest itself. So Cap, he was doing it, and you guys were just kind of discussing it, man. Like he was doing it, didn't look like he was even trying to make a big deal out of it. It looked like he was just having a personal man.
Yeah.
Yes, like he
That's
was
what he
I
said.
can't correct. And then
They
started
seeked him
asking-
out.
Correct. They asked him questions. Asking him questions, and Diesel, you were saying his voice, so you could tell he wasn't trying to be a out in front and a vocal person of this.
He wasn't.
And so for Stephen A. Smith and these guys to be like, what was his plan? His plan was to do exactly what it was that he was doing. I'm not standing for the national anthem no more. Just like some of us probably wouldn't hoist the American flag in front of our house. That don't mean.
Doesn't mean you hate your country. It doesn't mean that you're totally against everybody that's not your same race.
Correct.
He was standing up for racial injustice. They knew it, but like I said, they use it as a prop. It put the cables on. And once they got the cables on, they like, now we got a green light to go ahead and say some of this stuff we really want to say, and we ain't gonna get in too much trouble for it. And that's what they started doing.
Well, we're up against the propaganda machine.
Also, and
they created
this. There is a number 45 guy that had emblazoned all of the. We want our country back. We gotta have our country. He emblazoned all of them, and it's not a sport number 45.
Yeah.
Hey, they said 45 was still mad because he couldn't, get a piece of the NFL when he had the USFL. But
Man.
I feel you. But 45 he's a shiny mirror, man. I mean, this ain't self-love show, but I don't like to talk about him, man. That's an excuse, man. 45 had a whole shitload of racist pink people behind him, man. That was voting for him and shit.
Exactly, and he emblazoned them, and the ones in the NFL and all of the fans and all that, they were mesmerized by the clown. And
like I said, when this stuff went down, it gave them the green light to show more of their true colors, and they felt nothing would happen to them for it.
Yes.
So you start seeing your players who play right next to you, who your guys, you probably been over their house, barbecue and everything, turn on you immediately. Oh, he's doing that. He's disrespecting our military.
American.
He's disrespecting that. It didn't have anything to do with that. And they tell them, but they wouldn't hear. No, they had nothing to do with it.
At what point do we, say, you can talk your ass off? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Y'all can say what it is. You can talk your ass off. This is about police brutality. When do we not stand together? And let's get into that. Because I know there were, well, here's a question, all you guys. Were all you guys in support of the kneel from day one? Did any of you guys ever buy into the banter?
That's interesting, right? That question right there. I remember, hate to cut you off, but I remember going to a game one time. And rarely I even make it early enough to hit us.
Outside drinking.
Right. But this particular time I was at a game, but that usually I don't even think about the national. I keep my hat on, I'm walking around, I'm trying, like you said, trying to get a drink, trying to figure out my where the restrooms are. I ain't even thinking about
trying to have a good time. Yeah.
Right. But at that moment, I was sitting around a whole bunch of different people, right? And did you know, like, all eyes was on it? It was a group of us. All eyes was on us.
That happens to me all the time. I go to my niece games and they be looking at me, and then it makes me turn my back and scratch my nuts and sit down. And I was gonna stand for this shit, but now y'all looking at me like you gonna intimidate me.
Right.
Pull it down and watch what I do to that motherfucking flag. Looking at me and shit like y'all finna intimidate me and not expressing my constitutional motherfucking rights.
I'll say this: I have not stood since he kneeled or sat the first time he was sitting, and I've sat because I wasn't kneeling. I've sat ever since.
Yeah, that's a good point. But so I'm asking, everybody here was in support. Because I know there was people, man. There was brothers that,
There's a whole lot of
that was buying into that. But let's not talk now. Let's talk about if you're in the NFL. So I don't understand people, But if you're in the NFL and your bread is buttered, you had players who were up for contracts and they didn't want to touch that. What do you guys say about that? We all got jobs and stuff like that, and that's what it comes down to. What if some jackass? I don't mean to say jackass because of Kaepernick.
Can you say jackass?
Yeah, I mean, you can say it, but I didn't mean he's not a jackass. But what if some activist, decide to start activating at your place of business,
On your,
in
your contract negotiations. Yeah, that's it.
And your contract is up. He got money in the bank. His wife's probably making 8 figures, and your situation ain't that.
Right.
Hey, everybody got to govern and take care of their own situation.
Absolutely.
Period. So you got to look at your life and
so we're gonna throw you Mosier. We're gonna throw you Mosier right out of the window. We're just gonna be crabs in the barrel then.
No, I ain't saying nothing about crabs in the barrel. You don't have to not do it. You don't have to take them down.
One thing I learned.
Okay, I see your point. Everybody's got to do what's best for them. But see, wouldn't that be a scab?
Well, one thing I learned though, I took on.
No, I'm not. You know me. I'm not bringing that. I'm vibrating love. And that's what I'm saying. I'm vibrating love, and I'm coming from that center, and not kneeling as someone that's on a bubble of sorts I don't think that's a issue as much as, you know.
But see, I'm a firm believer that our strength would have been every motherfucking black motherfucking kneeling, man.
If that would have
And
happened,
it would have been no bubble. And it can't happen if we have that. Everybody's got to be on the bubble, and somebody's got to do what's best for them.
We can't have it if the stars don't do it. No one else.
But
they didn't come out in numbers.
Okay, so then we can't have it. And I'm saying that if the stars ain't fucking doing it, it's gonna be the low budget people. It's gonna be the poor people. It's gonna be us. It's gonna be the general population that's gonna lead them to doing that shit. In other words, if you had, how many stars are there? There's 1 or 2 stars in the locker room, maybe 4. Maybe 4. So what I'm saying is if everybody else said we're kneeling, the star has nothing else to do but kneel or get his ass whooped. What do you guys say to that?
Well, I think that, first of all, people got to understand, and that's what I proud of myself in trying to educate, because that's what people got lost in, the reasoning behind the kneel. People was doing it, right, and people was either telling you, well, this guy is doing it because he's, he doesn't have pride in his country, and I went to service. I was in the Army, the Navy, the Marines,
and fought in the war.
Right. How dare you? How you kneel on something that's just so prestigious? And people was, the narrative was lost in all this, and people was kneeling because it was gimmicky,
man. That's white supremacy. That's controlling the narrative. All of that's propaganda. All of that is what we're up against here in the United States. And so, and this ain't by accident. This ain't fucking happenstance, bro. So we know it's happening. We now know what's happening, and us as Silverbacks sitting here, we have to start guiding our people into not falling into that shit. We have to be the leaders and not and got our people away from that shit is what I'm saying. Because I'm telling you, this propaganda machine in the United States trained Hitler, it trained everybody. And that's what we're up against whenever we try to stand up as a nation in this country. They're using that against us.
Yeah, you're right.
And Tory's talking about the ones who are getting paid the most. Those are the agents.
Yeah, you think OJ would have kneeled?
And I say, right, exactly. And I say, fuck OJ. And I say, fuck all of them if they don't kneel. And that's how we got to start talking. Now, if the league is going to say, all right, well, we just going to have now they're going to stand out. Now those few jackasses who got that big money, they're going to stand out. I'm saying there is no choice.
When you can get everybody on the court, I agree with you 100%.
That is the goal.
That is the goal.
Yeah.
Well, it's just
you got
stars.
a choice. You got a choice though.
Everybody got a choice. I'm just saying, if you get everybody on the same accord, then I agree with them. But that's the thing. It's hard to get everybody on the same accord. And the ideal is that we should move towards that, and that be
we got a choice. But how's that different, Diesel? How's that different, bro? From crossing a union line? I know it's not a strike, but when we're talking about when it's coming down to the rich ones, that's what's wrong with us as a nation. We do it for money. At the end of the day, we do it for money, and we can color it any other fucking way we want to color it. We do it for money, and that is a fear conscience.
Capitalism.
It's fear. Yeah. And it's ingrained in us.
But you use the example, a union. You can take that example and say, okay, so there's people within that union that probably don't want to strike when they strike.
Oh, definitely.
But they do, and if they don't, guess what?
Well, if they're in the union and the majority rule on the vote, then they in strike, whether they want to or not, right? They still in strike, even if they don't want to. If the majority of them vote to strike, they got to strike.
Correct.
So it could be the same thing on a team, or hoopers, baseball, whatever. If the majority of the players association say, hey, this is what we doing, it's like
correct.
It's just like what I heard them last week on First Take. And Stephen A.
But the
actually
Players
made a good,
Association is poison, bro.
but it's I'm just speaking of
those
in unions. I'm talking like
but they be compromised, bro.
Yeah, they sell out too.
Union leaders be
yeah,
sold
they
out.
do. Yeah, I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm just using.
I'm telling you, and we talking about the nation. I'm talking about the nation of people. I'm talking about the movement that he was protesting. He was talking about niggas getting kneed out, and this ain't got nothing to do with labor and the labor agreements. None of that shit. This is what I'm saying, bro. This is just the premise I'm throwing out. When do we say we are the power?
Right.
Because the NFL has proven it with that strike years ago when they tried to play with those scabs. Nobody was watching that shit. So we're conditioned to say, well, the next man is going to take the money. Well, how far are they going to go? Because if enough next men are now playing in that shit league, we can start our own league. What do y'all say about that?
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to win. You got to own your own. You got to own your own.
Slave ship.
Yeah, that's the only way you're going to win.
Well, they have them conditioned to believe that they try and pull a move like that, they'll crush them.
Yes, that nobody will watch it. That's how they got us conditioned. Yeah, but it would be brilliant business because the Negro League would play them every year in the Super Bowl.
They wouldn't let me tell you why they wouldn't be able to do it. Because it's the same thing like airlines, right?
Mm-hmm.
They strike. You can get forced by the government to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can force them to go to work. So let's say that all of the people in the NFL, all of the minorities in the NFL say, we ain't playing. We out. You still under contract.
Okay, well, those contracts will run out. Those contracts, first of all that money ain't guaranteed, but okay. The contract in the NFL ain't no longer than 3 years, and so what? We'll lose those players. Those players will honor their contract, and so what? And then as soon as those contracts are over, if we can't buy them out in our league, they'll finish. They'll play shit football over there. They'll feign injuries. Come on, bro. That's shit we can do. They can fake like they're hurt. They can play shit football, and then when those contracts are over, they can come play in the Negro leagues and make this motherfucking money. Meantime, the new people coming out of college, coming out of high school, will be getting funneled to our leagues. What do you guys say about that?
But right before that, when you say can't, that's when you lost me. When you say can't, you lose me, because it's nothing that can't be done. We put our minds to it. These people right here
built this country.
We can make everybody's dream come right here. Everybody right here. We can make everybody's dreams come true. Just with our fucking expertise and what we got. We can make everybody's dream come true right here.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, when you say can't, you lose me.
Yeah, we shut down.
When I say they can't just, I'm telling you, there's some legal ramifications to that for what they eat. Because that's what I'm talking about. So we can't. When I say can't, I'm using.
But we acknowledge it, and so those people will honor their contracts, right? Or get bought out. But what we can do is those who aren't under contract can now start coming to this new league. Eventually, it'll get their attention.
Yes,
it'll get their attention. But if we, as the fathers and the grandfathers and the silverbacks, can't get this mentality, then we can't feed it into our kids, and they can't feed it into their kids, and then they're going to grow up staring at the TV and letting the white people ram something up their wazoo, which we can't see on YouTube.
Well, that's why I said that you go like corporations is how you go to get. You got to go to them to hit them in their pocketbooks to try to get the change that you want. That's how they do it. You go to them, they're the sponsors.
Man,
I said that at the beginning of the thing.
You build it, they will come. If you have the stars, they'll come. I believe it's the solution to the loss of black baseball players right now to start the Negro leagues back up.
Yeah.
As far as baseball.
Man, and kick their ass, Ace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You bring the Negro leagues back, and all those players from the Dominican and the other countries. They will go to MLB.
It's happening in basketball. Y'all don't see it because y'all in the shy, man. I was talking about this on the Self Love Show the other day. Man, this other races are playing basketball. You barely see black people doing it because it's become expensive. You got an AAU and you got to pay for these camps and these coaches. So the same thing's happening. So we have to build these Negro leagues and beat the shit out of these people.
Well, it's just like it's like soccer.
Beat the shit out.
Now you would think soccer would be one of the cheapest sports you could do. You know, grab a ball, kick the ball.
They found a way to make it. That's how
they. Who was that who put that on blast on TV? What's his name's the chick, the goalie for the USA, the woman.
Oh yeah.
He's married to Stevens from Seattle. Used to be a tight end in the NFL.
Mia Hamm.
Not Mia Hamm. No, that's not her name. I forget her name.
The goalie. Yeah.
But she put them on blast. So you know why? She says because they take the game, and she basically said that mainly suburban whites, but white America, they separate the game by charging money for fees and everything to play the game. They make soccer so expensive you can't afford to play it.
That's what they're doing to basketball. And the whole reason basketball
is coming. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do now.
Yeah. You got to go to look at the baseball, Ace. You got to go to batting cages now all of a sudden. Man, we used to just put chalk on the wall and play strikeout.
Right. You know, that's how you learn how to pitch. That's how you learn how to hit.
You strengthened your arm. You know, you got your bat speed and everything, man.
Right. With a wood.
Yeah, they
whatever bat you found on to the park, you know, or to the, you know. Yeah. So it's all to make it sexy.
It's changed the rules up when we see that it's leaning to a place where it's not going to be convenient for that particular set of people. So then you go ahead and change the rules up to how you can get into the sport to make it more difficult, so you can control who plays it and who doesn't. Man. I mean, that's as simple as that's how they done golf. That's how they do hockey. Man, you can't. No. Same thing. You know how much it costs to try to play hockey?
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
But hockey's supposed to have been like all that, like baseball started out of
who invented hockey?
You know what I mean? It was
Do you know who invented hockey, though?
Yeah.
Who, black man?
Yeah.
Black people, yes.
I'm pretty sure it was a black man. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice cheap game. You know, a stick, and something to smack around with the stick on the ice. You know.
I mean, you got to look back to like you said, golf. When before it became Black and Asian, when he was just Tiger Woods, they changed all the golf courses. They quote unquote Tiger proofed them, and he couldn't win anymore.
Yeah, so his advantages was
right. So
they did the Will Chamberlain, but they did the Will,
right. So now that these guys are hitting the ball just as far or farther than Tiger with these new clubs, are they changing the courses now?
No,
because there ain't too many black ones playing, so they like, oh, okay, we're good. They ain't really know. I mean, I think I seen one other. What's his name? I think his name starts with an H, but he's pretty good. But he's like a top 50 guy. He's not a guy that's a top 20 guy every week. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the way they look at it now, it's like, okay, we still got our sport because there just ain't a lot of people. Like I said, they're making all of these sports where it's financial for you to be able to play it, to get from grammar school to high school to college. It's finances involved. So.
Hey, we got some hubbub in the chat. Sovereign 100 said NFL players were not required to be on the sidelines prior to 2009. Yep, during the anthem, the players used to stay in the locker room. This is true. The custom didn't start until the Department of Defense gave the NFL $5.4 million to stage on-field ceremony. See, this is the propaganda I'm talking about. To make the team seem more patriotic. You know what I mean? And that's all the spooks and the CIA, and it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But to sit around and pretend like we don't know and to not tell our people, I think that's where it becomes irresponsible.
I mean, to be honest with you, they could. If you want to do, flybys in the military before games, that's fine. Just don't knock the people that don't want to. If they're not standing for, like I say, they blew that Kaepernick stuff. way out of proportion.
Well,
They made it
and that's what I wanted to say. If I'm at my job and some activists decide to start kneeling, right, and it put me in a situation, right, and y'all were saying choices, and we got bills to pay and families and stuff like that, you know, yeah, the solution would be for the job to take that flag down and stop doing that shit.
Right. Not if it's monetized.
That would be the solution. Yeah. But they monetize it. But if it hell, well, cut it out or cut me in. I'm not getting paid. This ain't part of my contract to do this. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me started because YouTube will probably fire us. But the Pledge of Allegiance. How do y'all feel about your kids being forced to say that?
Brainwashed into saying it.
That is brainwashing. And it's sick to have little black kids saying it, man.
Yeah.
It's sick to have little black kids saying it, man. When you know within the short period of years, you're going to be beating them little black kids and locking them up if you can get your hands on them. But, hey, we got to wrap up. It's been an hour. It's a 6-minute segment. We want to try to stick to that. So what I want to do is throw it to everybody to go over the conclusion. We'll start with Cortez, then we'll throw it to Ace, and then we'll throw it to Diesel. So, Cortez, you got something to say in conclusion? This is about the Kaepernick.
Well, I think that definitely what you're starting to see now is, and with the whole sport thing, with a lot of talk, they placating the race card. They saying it's all about inclusion and racial identifying and openness, and but that's all terms you're trying to kind of tame you and keep you in line. So you got to be careful with that. It's the only solution is this country is built on capitalistic values, and if you want things ran a certain way, you got to own it and do it your way with the money and back it. So it's in a market like this, that's the only way you can kind of get the answers. That's the only way I see it. If someone see it another way, please let me know, because I don't see it that way.
All right. Well, hey, big ups on that. All right. Somebody else want to close it out? Who was next on that?
Let's get back on message as far as what Kaepernick was trying to do, or he professed to be trying to do. When you stop me, if you're quote unquote have to stop me, don't shoot me, don't kill me. You don't have to kneel on my neck for 9 minutes and murder me.
Oh no, it was the drugs in his system.
Yeah,
it had nothing to do with this.
Yeah,
well, I'm just telling you what the white people are saying in court.
I know what court. Yeah. Yeah, they say a lot of things. But you just want to get back to the initial message of stop killing me like this just by pulling them over. Don't be scared. If you're afraid to be a police officer, find another job. You're a Jimmy, a Bobby. You can get a job anywhere. You can do anything that you want to do. Go do it. But don't kill a black person because you pulled them over for a traffic stop or a $20 bill. That's all I got to say.
That was well said. That was well said.
Let's see. I wish we could have actually went longer, because we could have talked on Kaepernick after the kneel. We didn't really get into too much of.
Well, we did. We're going to come back and we're going to come back and revisit that, because we got to stick this to an hour, because me and Self Love can go for 4 hours. But go ahead, bro. Thanks for reminding me. We'll revisit this, bro.
Because I did want to get into some of the things on his part that wasn't so hunky dory, but but his message, the initial message was just basically, the racial injustice has been going on forever, pretty much for minorities and black folks in particular.
Man.
And I just had a reminder on my TV, because I put a reminder for the When We Were Kings documentary, Ali and George Foreman. in '75, you know, that fight they had. And
Yeah.
I've seen it a few times, but I like watching it again whenever they show it. And it's a thing at the end when after the fight's over and Ali won and everything, and he was, I think it was the next day, he was talking with some of the kids from Africa. And he told them that they had he said that, and don't quote me because I might be saying it wrong, but he said that they have a beauty, an inner beauty in them. He told them that you guys are better than you know, us Black folks in America, because you have an inner beauty in yourself that's so much more richer than how we are in America. He was like, we're spoiled in America. He's like, but that beauty that you have is so pure and it's so innocent. And he's like, you know, don't ever lose that. But yeah, if you ever watch the documentary, just it's at the end of the documentary, but it's kind of fitting for what we, you know, what we're going through, you know, what we on point with right now.
Man, stay gold, Pony Boy. Stay gold, Pony Boy. Wordsmith, brother Wordsmith, what you got to say in closing?
To kneel or not to kneel, it's really about how you feel, what you think is real or illusion. For a lot of people, it's a foregone conclusion. Fear is an illusion. So vibrate love, and we can take it higher. And basically, that's the feel I got from Kaepernick's kneel. Love you, brothers. We're going to continue to keep this real.
Man.
TATN.
Hey. TATN, big ups. Hey, Sovereign 100 said, great show. He said he's going to subscribe and let more people know. See, that is fantastic. You know, one soul at a time. And big up Sovereign 100. And Sovereign, you know, if you're a silverback, you know, you can come up here and chime in with us. You know, we'll get you on the schedule.
That's my guy from around the crib, man. Grew up with him. He's a good dude.
Yeah, we can get Simon in play, man. This is how we grow this, man. Big ups, Diesel. Big ups, bro.
Big ups.
Yep. So, man, I just want to thank all you guys for doing this. And as Diesel said, we're gonna come back and talk post Kaepernick. I just want to make it be known that, you know, from word one, I was like, man, I don't see a problem in it whatsoever, and I would kneel right away. But I do respect the other brothers' wishes, and as you guys were saying. I think as I was cutting people off I think you guys were trying to tell me that, yeah, it'd be different if, you know, the team had, if the union had gotten together and met and all the brothers said, look, let's do this and let's make a statement. And, you know, but he wasn't trying to do all of that. You know, it was just something that happened. But since it was organic, now they all got railroaded into a situation where they got mics in their face, half of them married to white women, and right. Living in alt-right areas. Man.
Like, they want their country back.
Man.
They want their country back.
Yeah. So trust me, I get where all y'all coming from. I'm just here to let the pink people know and all others that you know, bigotry as usual is it's another show on TATN, and it's not going to be something in real life. So next week we look forward to you guys checking in with us, because we're going to check into the next topic. Who would you prefer to have take your lovely daughter or niece, you know, your princess, to prom? Would it be Big Ben Roethlisberger? Or Deshaun Jackson? Is it Deshaun Jackson or Watson that's on the news? Watson. Or is it Deshaun Watson? You know, so that's going to be the topic next week. Next week, you guys, it's going to be an hour earlier. So that's going to start at, what's that, 9 Central?
9 Central.
Yeah. So moving forward, it's going to be 9 p.m. Central, and we definitely appreciate you guys' support. I'll be more on my game as far as on the tech side, and, you know, we'll have some exit music for everybody. Get everything going.
Right. TATN, thanks for the invite.
Hey, TATN. Hey, mouthpiece included. Y'all get y'all some mouthpieces, man. Bring them in here. You know what I'm saying? Mouthpiece included.
For sure.